Hi, this is Elliot Life Sage. Let's go do a market update. Like always, none of this is financial advice. Always do what's best for you. So the market's definitely trying to find a reason to sell off. It just there's no reason. So this is the old: does the news generate the sell? Cause people to sell, or does sellers leverage news and sell regardless of the news? They just leverage the right news. And I think what's happening here, again, if you look at the market the way I do, I think sellers are obviously holding back. They don't want to, waste their ammunition. And if there's no real news to drive the fear, or they'll just be wasting their dry powder. So they're just kind of the sellers that really are going to move the market. They're just waiting. They're waiting. They either know what's coming and they'll sell at that moment. They may be the ones to generate the news, the panic to call, to give them, the opportunity to sell, or they'll just wait and the right news will kind of show up and they'll unload. And that's what's happening because you have to ask yourself. I mean, does is are the sellers entirely gone in the market? Is there no one left that's going to sell? That's absolutely not true. It's just they're waiting. Again, like poker, they're letting the pot build up, and that's what they're doing. And more people every day that are long in the market, except outside of scalp, people that are trading in and out, that they're just trapping. They're just getting trapped. But the right news is coming. I don't know what it is, but once it hits, they'll leverage that news, they being the sellers, and it will cause a massive drop because technically we're to extend it. So this should drop at any moment. Trying to predict when is really tough to impossible here. So you just kind of got to wait, and at some point it will turn lower. And there's the question is B here or is it here? If it's here, like I've mentioned before, it turns into something like this, and we'll have to change it, but do something like that and then bounce up, essentially just as vertical as this has been. It'll just bounce straight up and then have a crash that will destroy a lot of people, similar to the '07, '08 crash, which is almost the same type of pattern. But a lot of people don't think that's going to happen, and a lot of people think this is the count: five down, three up, and we're frozen. The market just can't, find the reason to turn lower, but that reason will come, and when it does, we should get that push lower in either a third wave that extends down to break the October lows, or another wave down for three, and then this could be three and three and three and three, and it could just do this for essentially years in this connector. So we're in a connector wave, and you have to like manage your expectations of this market may not trend. It could do that, and then do something like this, and then come back down like this, and it could just keep doing that for a long time. So just be careful of that too. And those triple levered funds will not work in that type of price action. So this is the setup. I do believe Verge are going lower. Um, you can see, every stochastic is overbought. I mean, 4 hour daily. Uh, Looks like the weekly stochastics finally reset too. How's the monthly doing? Monthly still wide open on the downside, which makes sense because we're at lower lows, right? I mean, it's been a great run, right? But you still have made a lower low. I mean, a lower high, lower high. Here's a high, a lower high, a lower high. Okay, so it's still bear market, still bear market. Dow Jones, same thing, kind of stuck, frozen. Just waiting for the last sucker to throw his last dollar in the casino, and when the market feels it's done that, it will go down. The triple Qs did break the high. It may be showing a different possibility. So but we're still looking for this Y down. And this could also be a clue to show you that yes, we are going to bounce in something like this later in 24. We get something like this. And so could still see that possibility here, where you get this drop, and then you get this, get this rip up. So maybe the Nasdaq is telling you B is coming up later. We need to wait and see. This could still be a truncation. We need to see divergence erased on the higher time frame. So let's take a look on the daily. See, you don't have that here. Weekly, not even on the weekly. So without the divergence being erased, it's just a connector wave, like I have it here. I wouldn't label it as a 4 and a 5 because it's discorrected too much of the cycle. And so this is clearly 3. So it's a 3 wave. This is a new cycle. This is a cycle. This cycle here should break lower. And if it's a 3 and a 3, then we should get another 3 higher to finish the corrective structure. The tricky thing could be is it defies the system and it just finishes there. And we got a three wave move that truncated here and it didn't finish. And it just doesn't seem that likely. So that's why the Nasdaq may be a little more bullish later into the 24 time frame. Now the other there's always options, there's always possibilities. The other possibility is you have your 3 and your connector is done here, and we're going to run to 447 on the Nasdaq, and that would erase divergence on the daily. That would do that on the daily and push that up. But that would push up all the indices, and then there would be a massive rug pull that would blow up pretty much every trader that I would know with that C leg, because you would have, it almost looks like the same fractal. I mean, take a look at this. This is kind of interesting. I just noticed. Look at this wave down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and compare it to this fractal. It's almost the same fractal. And then look, you had the same kind of pump, but it failed. So it's going to fail. So it's just got to run. It's going to run out of gas. But it's interesting. This fractal, very similar to that fractal. You have like a parent and a child, and each one had a pump, and maybe this leg is that leg, and then you get a retrace. So maybe it comes all the way back down to 343. But I think it's going to break this low on October 2023. So either way, market is due to reverse pretty soon. Let's see if there's any hidden bullish divergence. We're starting to build hidden bullish divergence on the 4 hour, something to keep an eye on. Let's take a look at the 45. Yeah, even on the 45. So the Nasdaq is showing that it can extend higher and go to this 400 level. People are buying the dip. People want to buy. They're desperate to buy. They missed the move. It's all this FOMO emotion is happening. Greed. This is greed. So this is what's happening here. So I actually expect to run up another higher high. So get ready for that. But then that should create more divergence and erase this hidden divergence that I'm seeing on the shorter time frame. The SPY is going to probably do the same thing. So I think it's going to continue to extend higher. And expect that to happen. Given where the 45-minute is, there's hidden bullish divergence. Now let's go to everyone's favorite, the Russell Index. Again, you have a lot of hidden bullish divergence here on the 45. The daily, not so much. Still, and it looks like the 4 hour cycle has reset. So shorter cycles, you can expect the pop in the Russell too. What will be interesting is if this pop can't break 181. I don't think it's going to. I think it's going to come back to retest this level here, and I think it will hold. But I do think that 45-minute needs a reset up. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a green candle and then some event, news event, and finally we'll turn this market down. And again, I just guessing what based on the stochastics. Bitcoin, I'm still looking for that 40,000 number, and it's just a slow grind to get there. But I still looking for that. That probably reset the cycle there, so you have your first 1, 2, 1. So should be getting this candle up here, but again, it could already be finished here, or even yeah, it would be here. Uh, I don't see 5 waves, but it did make a higher high. The swings are in. Oil, warned about this C, and I do think this will happen coming up, something like that. And this could be a 1-2, 1-2, and could be seeing an oil pump coming to get this C leg. Gold is starting to break out a little bit. Gold, we're looking for this pullback in X as long as it's below $2,088. So it looks like to me what's happening in gold is we're getting a 3-wave move, and it can continue a little bit longer. But if it does break, then this 5th wave is extended. And this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it should top out at 2350 for all-time highs. But this is a wave 5 of a wave 5. So it feels good, but it's not going to last very long. In my opinion, just do what's best for you on the gold and silver market, but this could be the count, and then it finishes. That, so you have to respect that, but this is the end of a cycle in my mind, of a much bigger cycle, which makes sense given where I think the market's going and the dollar index and interest rates. So the dollar index really is getting hammered. I've updated the count to 3, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish it. Still in the buy area. So the dollar is in danger of a massive reversal at any moment still. It's just extending this C leg down and trying to get people to capitulate, but you got bullish divergence, so this is due a bounce. The 10-year broke the low I was warning that this could happen, and it broke support, so this opens up the 3938 level. And it seems like as rates fall, the market gets more giddy about that. So maybe this could be good for the market, but then again, this could be risk off eventually too, as people panic. So we don't know which one you're going to get. Now this B-Wave connector does look shallow, so I wouldn't be surprised to see something, like this play out again, like that. And then rug pull on the rates. But with this lower low sequence like we have here, it seems likely there'll be another swing down in the interest rates. So looks like we'll get some reprieve in rates soon, even lower, but this is short-lived, and it's an opportunity to dump your bonds to play for this eventual wave 3. The VIX is really, how you draw the trend line. It's at support, and had some capitulation in the VIX. Yeah, the VIX is I would say the VIX is, again, just wants a reason to ratchet higher. It's in very unfamiliar territory for it, but it can't go down to these levels here. We saw it, so we can't see it continue to push lower. but it's due for a reversal at any moment. And just looking at the VIX structure, where could that reversal happen? By breaking the low, you could see it tag 10.6, this area here. I don't think it's going to get down there. This looks like almost 5 waves are getting close to finishing, so it looks like this is just some kind of either an impulse down or flat, the flat connector, which is probably what I would want to label it as. Something like that. And then something like that. So that's what I'm thinking for the VIX. All right, so that's the market, guys. I do think the shorter time frames, you do need to be careful given the 45-minute, hidden burst divergence, but it's not as severe as it was down here. When I gave that warning on this B wave, I warned about this pump because of that, and we got it, and it's definitely continued much further than we thought. Now we're getting it again, but it's not as severe, so the pop may not be as dramatic, but I do think this 45 will want to reset with bearish divergence with a higher high-end price, and then hopefully that will do it, and then somebody can drop some news to get this selling going. Technology, I always like to go through it, see where things are. Apple is still struggling here, should be turning down. How's Amazon doing in that B wave? Should be turning down. Google, looks like that's already set. Looks like that's turned down. How's Facebook doing? Lost my labeling, we'll skip over that. Netflix still extended in X. Tesla, let's take a look. So Tesla made a third swing in 2. Did we break that high or not? We broke the high. Did we? So we did. So that's good for the Tesla bulls. So as you know, you have 3, and now you have this connector, but this is 5 down here and 3. So what this tells me is this is a bigger connector that is going to play out more. Something like this. And then this is going to, again, it kind of matches the Qqq count that I'm showing earlier. Something like this. Yeah, I'm trying to think through how I would want to label it exactly. Let's see here. A, B, C. So yeah, I think from my point of view, let's see here with Tesla. You probably want to label it as an impulse up right now, as an A, something like that. That's how I would label it. And that labeling can change. But label it something like this. There's 5 up. So I'm going to have to study this structure a little bit more just to get it right. But here you have 3 down, right? And you have 3 up. So this is again a connector and a connector and a connector. So this is going to be very complicated Elliott wave pattern to try to label. But right now with the higher high sequence, it will either take a third swing higher up to 276 by breaking that high, or it's going to reverse at 251 and then rug pull back to 218 and then come up to 272, which is probably the right way to think about where it's going, because the market just loves to do these flats to destroy the traders. So maybe if you have some courage, you want to short it at 251, 255 and see what happens. See if you can get that short there in this area and play it back down to like the 218, 220 area, and then you get this rip higher to 275, and then you get another 3 waves down to finish the sequence. This is good news because what this may ultimately means more than likely is this low will hold at 101 and you may come back to 150, 160 eventually, but I don't think given the structure now, I think things are looking okay, but this is what I'm looking at for Tesla right at the moment. Adobe's trying to top out. How's AMD doing? Again, trying to top out. All these tech stocks want to reverse so bad, but you just need the news now. Nvidia hit the sell area. It's been struggling. I do believe this is topped out and done. Just needs more news to get more panic. All right, so let's kind of scan through, see if there's anything interesting in these stocks. So TDOC, I mentioned this before, this 4-wave. This looks like we're getting that pop here, but it should fail. I don't know, where it eventually will end, but we should get one more low. DraftKings is in this 5th wave, like I mentioned, and that should be finishing up for first cycle since the bottom. But very bullish, right? Clear 5 waves. So if you get this 2, this would be a great opportunity to get long if this happens. Hopefully it's not a 1-2-1-2 and the market leaves you behind. We still we have the divergence. Keep an eye on this one for a retrace, an oversold retrace trade. This should get one more low, and then it could have a nice massive retrace. How are the green stocks doing? Enphase did bounce here right at 75 like we expected, but it does seem like it's still got more swings to go down. How's Neo doing? Kind of struggling again, looking for that reason to sell off. PDD pumping. Mentioned that this could extend. Divergence was taken out. And that's the problem with trying to short these wave 5s. Sometimes it just doesn't work out and they extend like this. It's very bullish. It's one of the most bullish stocks that we've followed. Let's see here. Yeah, so it's something like this. We'll keep an eye on that trend line. That's probably will be a lot of resistance. So it probably should get up to like the 158, 159 area. Interesting if the K-Web is bottoming out. The K-Web really needs to hold 25. All right, so I just kind of went through some tech. Let's go through some of the healthcare. I always like healthcare. Let's take a look. Again, that was in the buy area. I came out. Weight Watchers should be finally starting to reverse out of this pattern. Should be coming out. How is mRNA? mRNA looks to me like it is trying to turn higher. It seems like it's getting close to breaking out and ending the correction, but it's Not quite there yet. Was very close. Looking for that low drop lower in the Lily. All right, so how's pod doing? Pod impulsed out, erase divergence. So it's probably finishing its first wave through, probably going into its first four wave. So, all right, commodities, how's that faring? Chevron, yeah, typical of a fifth wave. Should we get an amount soon? YH is in a very tough area. Could be a great buy here, but I would be still cautious. Um, all right, nothing else is looking good to talk about. Let's see, crypto, Mara, and Riot. All right, so Mara is in the sell area. Be careful. It could have the three. This is the area that it could turn down. Anywhere in this area. Riot just tagged it. So be very careful with crypto equivalent stocks. They're being pumped at the moment. Let's see here. A MicroStrategy held the low. It's up 3. It's now up 5 with divergence. So that's good for the crypto community here. It looks like to me, you have some kind of bullish sequence. But this leg's too short for 3 of this leg, so it looks like to me it's some kind of 3-wave move to here and then up. So it's actually still just retracing this. So it's not an impulse in my opinion. And then that should then that's it. We'll see if what happens when it gets to this point. So it should go a little higher. Yeah, GBTC was good trading. All these boxes I've given as buys, and people again, but this is just greed and FOMO right now, guys. This is just people throwing caution to the winds. They need to be long, and or they can't sleep if they're not long. But believe me, it's all this is going to correct. There's a back half to this pump, and we'll look, for buys again. All right, so that's the market. So what do I think is going to happen? I think the shorter time frame should actually continue higher. I wouldn't be surprised to break 456.8, then set up more, continue the bearish divergence. Maybe it comes up to here, and then you get the news event, and boom, it's game over. That's what I'm looking for, but do what's best for you. All right, guys, that's all I got.